Hello and welcome to Menu Monday.
Good morning! I hope y'all are having a marvelous Monday. Returning subscribers, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing well. For new subscribers, welcome and wishing you a fantastic day. If this is the first video you're watching on my channel, I hope you enjoy and would love to have you join us. Just click on the red subscribe button. I do recipes every Monday. Cooking's one thing most of us do every day. So trying new things instead of being in that rut of the same old, which I was guilty for. It gets so boring. I've had so much fun trying new things, and I hope you do too. As always, all the ingredients will be listed at the end of each recipe made. This way you can do a screenshot so you have it when you're going to the grocery store. Or in the description box below, I list all the ingredients for all the recipes I share today. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is preheat the oven to 375, and then in the skillet we're going to heat some olive oil and cook on medium-high. I'm going to season the chicken with salt and pepper. I used nature's seasoning, and I did use some poultry seasoning also. You can vary your seasonings, whatever you prefer to use. I will put all the ingredients at the end of the recipe, but they'll be the recipe, not what I actually used. So if you would like to change those, just make a note. So we get this going in the skillet. We're going to cook this on both sides just to brown it. We're not cooking it through. That'll be done in the oven. And we're going to turn it over here halfway, and then once it's done, we're going to put this in a casserole dish, or if you have an oven-proof skillet, you can just take the chicken out, put it on a plate, make the sauce, put the chicken back in the skillet, and put the skillet in the oven. I didn't have that, so we're going to put mine in the casserole dish. Next, we're going to do some garlic, some red pepper flakes. Now it calls for a teaspoon. If you don't like those, you can use less. And then a chicken broth, which I made my own with some bouillon, and then some heavy cream. And this is the beginning of our sauce that's going to go over the chicken. Get all the brown bits off the bottom with all that delicious flavor. And then we're going to add some sun-dried tomatoes. Now you can chop these. I used whole. They were really very good. And then Parmesan cheese. It's at a half a cup to 1 cup. I just used what I had left over in that bag. And then what we're going to do now is pour this over the chicken and put that in the oven and cook it until the chicken is done. It took mine about 20 minutes, I believe, on 375. And then I checked it with a meat thermometer to make sure that it was done. And then this was finished. I put it back in the electric oven on keep warm, and then started the spaghetti, which I did in the Instant Pot. That seems faster. And I cooked garlic bread in the propane oven. So everything was ready and warm, and it was absolutely delicious. Loved the flavor. Now, we served ours on pasta. Big Daddy said I should have made a little more sauce for that. So if you're going to do it on pasta, I suggest doing the same and making more sauce. Otherwise, it was perfect. Today we're going to be making 2 dishes. The first of which is a Brussels sprout and maple bacon side dish that turned out fantastic. So the first thing we're going to do is wash the Brussels sprouts. Then we're going to cut them in half. I'm going to sped this up here, just taking off the extra loose leaves. and of course chopping off the base of the Brussels sprouts. This made quite a lot, but it was really good. There wasn't much that went to waste. The next thing is to cut up the bacon. You're going to cut them about 3/4 to 1 inch wide and then get them started in the pan. I cooked these on medium just so they cooked through and slow. And while this was cooking, I worked on the chicken casserole. For that, we're going to use a can of ro-tel, a can of cream of chicken soup, and then a 1/2 to 1 pack of TATER seasoning. Combine that and then just put in 2 cups or 2 handfuls of shredded cheddar. This is a rotisserie chicken that I previously cut up and froze. I love using the rotisserie chickens. I pick a couple up every week and shred them and put them in the freezer. They're quick and easy to use and less than $5. Alright, now we're going to spray the baking dish. We're going to mix the chicken into the rest of the mixture and get that into the casserole dish, just preheating the oven there. I made this one time before using some Doritos that I had crushed up and layered, but it was too salty for us. This time I'm using a sleeve of Ritz crackers, putting in some melted butter, mixing that up, and just sprinkling this on the top. It was less salty and loved the taste. Now going back to our Brussels sprouts, I took out the bacon, left in the grease, added I think it was 5 tablespoons of butter, and now we're going to cook the Brussels sprouts. I'm leaving this on medium. After the Brussels sprouts were done, I added back in the bacon and then the maple syrup. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons. I thought it was a little too sweet. I would suggest adding 1 at a time, 1 tablespoon at a time, and just testing it till you get your desired sweetness. Otherwise, it was a fantastic dinner. Here are your ingredients. This casserole was absolutely delicious, and I'll definitely be making it again. We start by just greasing the casserole dish, and as you know, I love to buy rotisserie chickens and cut them up for later. This is one of those meals. 2 cups of shredded cheddar went in first. This is a 16-ounce container of sour cream and 1 can cream and mushroom soup. In addition, we're going to use some real bacon bits. Guess I put them in last. I'm cutting up the chicken here. This is the rotisserie. I buy a couple, sometimes 3 if they're on sale, and just cut them up and put them in freezer bags and stick them in the freezer. And then when I need to use one, I just get it out in the morning. It thaws out in about 3 hours. They're great. So you cut the chicken up and put that in there. Okay, here go the bacon bits. I was looking for the ones in a bag, but I couldn't find those, but these were real bacon bits. And they were very delicious. The whole meal, I mean, we're definitely loving this one. So now we just get everything mixed up, and then we shall place on top of that the tater tots, which I just got the frozen ones. Not sure there's any other kind, but anyway. I couldn't fit the whole bag in mine because mine's a smaller casserole dish. the most, but if you did like a 9 by 13, I'm sure they would all fit. And then it was done. It was so delicious. You can see as I'm dishing it up how creamy it is. It was lovely. And then on the side I just did some vegetables, a mixture of potatoes and beans and so forth. And that went along with it very well. And here I'm going to give you your ingredients. Big Daddy took over the next night. He did steaks marinated in Worcestershire sauce, and I cooked frozen fries on the side. It was a great break. Also very good. So tonight we're doing some Asian rice bowls. We're going to heat 1 2/3 cups of water and then add the uncooked rice from the box. I'm going to bring this to a boil, stirring occasionally, and then reduce heat, cover, simmer for about 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we're going to add our chicken, which we're going to cut up into small chunks, about 1-inch pieces, and we're going to put a little olive oil in there. And we're going to cook the chicken 3 to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally until the chicken turns white. Then we're going to stir in the seasoning mix that came in the chicken helper box and add a 1/4 cup of water and the frozen vegetables. Now we're going to heat this to boiling. And then you want to reduce the heat after it boils, cover it and simmer for about 6 minutes, stirring occasionally until the vegetables are crisp and tender. It was a delicious meal, very simple. Here are your ingredients. I hope you enjoyed this week's menu. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care, y'all. Love you. Bye-bye.